Barb's heifer, and we got our bull ruler out of a state of war. Morning, welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. It is Saturday morning. You crapped in the tank. What'd you do that for? And it's like 2/3 full. Idiot. Yeah, it got a little sloppy last night. So we got like a 1/4 inch of rain, according to Mr. Rain Gauge. After a review of the weather forecast, we're going to grind corn today. But we need the 29, and the 29 is down by the picker because I didn't move that yet, so I gotta move the picker. Alright, that should work. I just kind of propped up the PTO shaft. I don't need to hook it up, but this should be fine. It's going to go over in a similar spot to where it was before. We're going to have a little bit more room over there because the 717 is not going back there. And the 717's replacement, which is here by the way, still a surprise, is not going to go back in that spot. So let's snake this sucker back there, and 'cause I got the roller kind of in the way and stuff like that, but yeah, it'll go. Well, we're back at the grind. So I think it's been exactly 3 weeks since Bethany and I ground corn. And we grounded a little bit late as far as volume. So we maybe could have made it, stretched it out till next weekend, but honestly, if next weekend's good, we want to be out in the fields. So today is decent. Did find out right before we started, and like I mentioned yesterday, when I found that cedar, that was like the first cedar that's ever been pulled out. It's the second in like the last 10 years. The 10 years we've been doing cedars. There were 5 more in the yard. We've never had that before, ever. Ever, ever, ever. Put them in the same, everything the same. Cedars are the same. It's all the same. And we've never, ever had that many cedars pulled out. So I've already got a couple of questions out to some people. I'll probably post the question on Facebook or whatever. Just, what do you guys do when that happens? So, never had that happen. That's really effing annoying. Alright, we're on to batch number 2. And these guys are pretty happy, as usual. We're gonna flip that gate over so it's ready so we can haul, and I was able to get Factor caught in the back, which is really nice. He must really like the new ground feed. He's starting to, so. And now he's getting his hay in that manger back in the long shed too. So hay, ground feed, it's a good combination. And it's nice and fresh. He hasn't had it for a couple of days, so I was able to trick him, which was nice. But he needs to get used to being able to get penned up in that back pen also, because that's where we like to stick him. Do a load out of there as long as it's still a little early. We have plenty of time. So we're back in the 44. Dad is wondering how this load's gonna spread out because he's getting a lot of straw from that one corner in the loafing shed. Back there, can't move the camera, I gotta move my other hand. Back in that corner where we would bed them a lot with straw and stalks and stuff like that. Well, because we did use a few straw bales back there, there's a lot of straw pack. Dad's gonna go haul that load and find out how many shear pins he's gonna break. He's excited about that. And I'm gonna start getting ready to feed. Close all these gates up, let factor back out. Although, lose my boot here. I haven't yet, usually once a year. But because the winter was so warm, the spring was a little easier. But not by much, mud-wise, anyways. I did give him some hay, but we'll see. Yeah, he wants to come out. Hey, bud. Attaboy. That's fine with me. I'd rather him go straight than make a turn when he gets to the end of the gate. Oh, that's about what I expected. He wanted to come out. He came out. All's good with the world. I did post the question about the cidrs on, what people would maybe recommend doing. That's the one thing I like about Facebook. There's the different groups, like focus groups on different areas. So you can, pick some of those groups and just be like, ask this question to this group, because that's kind of what the group is for. So far for the gist of it, 2 options. Put the cidrs back in. Let them go until we would normally till Wednesday, pull them shots as normal. Or, as somebody mentioned, don't put them back in, just give the shot of Ludolice on Wednesday, observe, time AI, all that good stuff. So, all right, let's get feeding going. And Dad has already broke a shear pin. He's been out there for 30 seconds. So maybe I won't start feeding and I'll end up going down there watching him. Because then I can help him with that, especially if there is... sometimes what will happen is that straw will build up at the end and you'll get a big ass wad sitting right there. It'd be nice to get one of those big Artsway manure spreaders that the 44 can't even handle. So you're like, well, I guess we got this big manure spreader. It looks like we need a bigger tractor. Well, it's a shitty job, but the spreader actually does a pretty decent job of it though. It's an H&S 310. We got it a few years ago. It was definitely an upgrade from the New Holland that we had. It's probably 2.5 times bigger. There goes another shear pin. That's what happens. Now we got her going again. It's just that's the problem with these wads of straw. Actually watching that Eagle bull calf right here, much improved. Like his actual, like when you watch his stride, there's normal flex in all his joints. It looks like definite improvement. And on to find Puffy Face. Where's Puffy Face? And also somebody was in heat today, and I gotta figure out who. I think it was DF431 with no tag. And oh yeah, that is a rubbed off tailbone. But Puffy Face is right here. It's about the same as yesterday, so just kind of still keeping an eye on her. Definitely not getting any worse, that's for sure. And it has not affected her, like I don't think it's any kind of an infection or illness or something, because it has not affected her attitude or her like physical activity at all. Like she hasn't changed her demeanor at all. So that's a good thing. I still think that might be a sensation. And we got Barb's heifer, and we got our bull ruler out of a state of war. This is our first calf of the year. She's definitely looking good. I mean, she's almost 2 months old now, right? Third week of February, and we're in the third week. Yeah, she's like 2 months old. Here's that Eagle bull calf out of the Cowboy Cut. Nice, close. I think he's going to turn out to be really nice. Everybody's doing really decent out here. Got a little crazy bull calf back here. He doesn't know where he's going. There he goes. There he goes. Hey, good morning. All right, we are rolling. Dad and I ran to Fleet this morning. Well, we drove, we didn't run. But went to Fleet this morning, grabbed some oil, some engine oil, some hydraulic oil. We're going to start with the 29 and changing fluids in that guy. Partially starting on that one because we also want to adjust the rear wheel width, because Dad wants to try planting with that one this year. Come on, Factor. Attaboy. So I am trying to feed him a little bit more in the back half. So his other manger is over here, which is closer to the opening. All right, tractor is in the shop. We actually didn't need to take the muffler off. We were thinking of the old muffler, actually the old pipe, because the stock muffler is actually underneath the hood and then it just comes out with the pipe. That sucker went to heck on us like a year or two after we got it, because we bought it with like think 6,000 hours on it or something. So when we replaced it, we just went with one of these guys, and it's worked fine. But it fits in here. I mean, typically we do everything out in front of the shop. We don't hardly ever bring it in. But I'm just trying to get all the exhaust and stuff out. But I should be able to shut the door now. And of course, we're running the ready heater. Not bad. So oil done, oil checked, filter done. That's a pain in the butt. But we're gonna go on to the wheels. All right, so where are we now? The same place we were an hour and a half ago. So this is the same setup, and I've showed this before, but this is the same setup as what's on the 44. So this is a taper lock system, and you've got a little worm gear here that actually allows you to move it in and out, because you've got these little, you can't see them real well, grooves. So what you're supposed to do is loosen these three. These three hold the two halves together. And then these two guys are actually pushers to push this half of the wedge backwards. And then that loosens everything up and you can move it with the worm. But that's where we sit. We can't get this to go. We use the air impact. Granted, ours isn't a huge air impact, but I also have a 4-foot breaker bar that can't really do anything with that either. So we've also heard that you can, once you kind of loosen everything and then tighten the pushers, you smack the end of the axle with a maul. We've done that multiple times. We've punched actually right on the wedge with the pressure on the pushers. So what we're going to do now, and as you might be able to hear, that noise is rain on the shop roof. So what we're actually going to do, we've sprayed a bunch of penetrating oil all over it, and we're just going to leave the pressure on the bolts. And we've tried the other side too, even though it's not jacked up. We're just going to leave the pressure on the bolts. We sprayed a bunch of penetrating oil, and we'll see what it looks like in the morning. At least Dad might come out and put the impact to it or something like that, and see if just letting it soak might help out. So annoying. So everybody's fed. That was a speed feed. Dad even left a little bit early just to get out of it because it was just a little bit of inside stuff. Everything's done. Everybody's bedded. Well, not bedded. Bedding will be tomorrow, which everybody will get bedded again. So yeah, it's supposed to rain for another couple hours. But it was a pretty decent weekend. The cedar thing's really disheartening because we've never had that before. We've installed them like we've installed them for the last 10 years. And we've never cut tails, and that's probably what we need to do is cut the tails so that they have a harder time pulling out. So, and again, before this weekend, we've had one cedar pulled out in 10 years. So it is what it is. We'll give them their estimate shot on Wednesday. Pull out the couple that are still in, and then we'll see what happens. We'll paint tails, and yeah, we'll bring you along for that. All right, we'll call this the end of the day, end of the weekend. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and thanks for coming along.